Hey guys, this is Courtney from Willsbloom at willsbloom.com, where we intentionally design our life and business with the cosmos. So today I want to talk about the reasons why you might be feeling overwhelmed and 6 ways to reverse this so you feel like you're more calm and centered, even though you still are doing lots and lots of things. So let's get started. So before we jump into it, I just want to say that these are tactics that I'm constantly implementing and course correcting my life with. And that's because this is not a destination. Being an entrepreneur, you're going to encounter the same struggles again and again, and you're going to have to refocus yourself because you're a human. You're not going to have these under your belt in a day. The best thing is that the more that we do them, the more that we course correct, the better that we get at them and the easier that it becomes. So it's not about having no overwhelm, no negativity, no stress. It's about learning how to deal with these things better and better when they do come up. The first thing I want to talk about was something that I learned recently in a course with someone who's amazing. And it's a group course, and she was talking to someone, and that person was saying how she felt discomfort and overwhelmed and kind of stressed. And what the coach said was that that's good. That's normal. And I was like, wait, what? Why is that good? And that's because discomfort comes when we're moving up, when we're leveling up. And if you think about this in the terms of an animal, for example, let's take a lobster. When they're in the ocean and they're getting too big for their exoskeleton or their shell or whatever you call it, they have to shed that and then develop a new one. And the thing is, shedding that is not comfortable. I mean, I'm not a lobster, but I'm speaking in a metaphor here. When you're moving up into the next level of your business and as a person, because those are pretty congruent. When you're leveling up as a human being, the kind of tasks and challenges that you experience are harder. And that's because you're building more of that resistance and you're able to take more on, and you're learning how to adapt and fit into that new shell and learn new tools and exercises in order to really take advantage of all the things that you're experiencing and be in flow with them. So if you're experiencing discomfort and overwhelm, it's probably because you're moving up to the next level in some respect. If you are feeling overwhelmed in your business, but you're not necessarily evolving or leveling up, then it's probably because of the next idea, number 2. And that's because you need more discernment and constraints in your business and in your personal life. So what I mean by this is that you are dispersing your energies into too many different things. If you have too many different products, this is a problem. If you're focusing on helping too many different people, that's a problem. Really aligning yourself with your mission and focusing on one clear idea and one clear thing at a time. So when you are a discerning person, you really know what that one thing is that you are meant to help people with. You have one product, maybe 2 products that tie into a very similar mission. If you have a lot of different things going on at once, then you're not really able to do any of them full justice. And then every time you're making a decision to say yes to something, really understand that when you say yes to something, you are also saying no to something, even if that's just yourself. For example, if I say yes to go out to dinner with my friends, I'm saying no to spending time by myself. So these are really important distinctions to keep in mind, or things to keep in mind. Because as you grow as a business and you have more opportunities, more overwhelm will come and you will say yes to more things. And you have to become more and more discerning as you evolve in your business. You have to be able to say, no, that's not 100% in line with myself, my goals, and my vision for this year, even if it seems interesting. Just really honing in on who you are and how you are meant to serve the world is going to aid you, because that is a missing element into deciding whether or not you're going to do something. If you have an unclear purpose, you will say yes to everything. And that's sort of what people do when they first start their business. They jump at everything. And that's fine for a little while, but that is what leads to overwhelm, because you can't always do that. You have to really understand why you are here and what is in line with you. Another way to be discerning is to use constraints within your day. Constraints are ways that you kind of set up a structure or walls in your life by saying I do or I don't do these things, kind of on an identity level. So for example, I say I'm vegan. So for the most part, I'm eating nothing that is non-vegan. So that is a constraint that's in my life because I know that that is something that I do. And so I don't have to think about it. I don't use my energy to make a decision, which gives me more energy in my life and leads to less overwhelm. If I have these constraints, then I know that I go to bed at 9:30. I get up at 6 and go to yoga. I eat, vegan food for lunch, food that I prepared the night before. I schedule everything on my calendar and I do the things that I scheduled at that time. I'm gonna make a whole video about this. This one is super important and I'm also gonna talk about it in just a second. But scheduling is key. So establishing these constraints will really allow you to have more freedom, because by having things that you already know are just pre-decided, you have more energy and more time to use in different ways and in different areas of your life. The second reason you're overwhelmed is because you are looking up too much. And what I mean by this is if you're on a hike, let's say your business journey is a hike, and it's a strenuous hike, and there's tons of roots and rocks and natural debris all over the road in front of you or the path in front of you. Well, when you're walking, if you're just looking up at the view, you're gonna eat shit, excuse my French, but you're gonna trip on a root because you're not looking at the steps in front of you. And the same thing goes with your business. If you're so focused on the big picture and the ultimate results of what you want, instead of focusing on what's closer to the present moment and what you actually have to do next in order to get to your long-term goals, you'll feel overwhelmed because it will seem like such a mountain of work to get there. Well, actually, all you have to do is take one step at a time. If you just point your eyes down and you take a step, it seems a lot more manageable. And then you just take another step and you can take a break when you want. But the point here is that it's a step-by-step process. So stop looking at that big picture when you're feeling overwhelmed because it is not helping you. And it is important to still look at that big picture, because if you're just taking step after step looking at the ground, who knows, you might end up on some weird path that's actually not leading you to where you want to go. So of course you need that perspective. But instead of just allowing yourself to go there whenever you want and then feel stressed, what you can do is be a CEO and schedule CEO days to have a grander look at your business, at your life, where things are going, how your strategies are working, how they're not working, looking at your metrics, really taking a step back and getting a view of everything on a scheduled day. And then all the other days, you're in it. You're looking down, you're doing the work, and you're focusing on yourself and not what other people are doing. Because if you're looking up, you're also looking around. And by looking around, you're going to see how everyone else is doing so well, and you're going to compare yourself, and you're not going to feel like you're doing enough, or you're going to feel overwhelmed. A lot of negative self-doubt. We don't want that. So just focus your eyes on the path in front of you, because it takes time. And there's going to be so much self-doubt and negative self-talk along the way. It's not like every day is going to be perfect and you're going to believe in yourself 100%, because on the outside, there's not going to be evidence of your success, because success is delayed. Evidence is delayed. The reaction is delayed from the point that you're doing the work. So when you first start an Instagram account or YouTube account and you post for 6 months, no one's going to watch your videos. But then at some point, it starts to gain traction. But so many people give up before that point because they get overwhelmed and disappointed because they're looking around and they just are not focused on what they're doing. So just stay focused on the lane in front of you, on the next right step. And that can mean a variety of things, either the person who's just starting and doesn't feel like anyone's watching, or the person who's really doing well but has so many things on their plate and they're looking up too much. So there's two different perspectives with that one. And then another aspect of that is that when you're looking up too much and you're all in your head, what you're doing is you're not taking action. And when you're not taking action, you're feeling fucking stressed. And I know, because I am like this. When I'm thinking about everything I have to do, I feel so overwhelmed. But when you actually just sit and do it for a second, it all goes away. Because the antidote to overwhelm is action. The antidote to negative self-talk, to self-doubt, to stress is always action. Stop feeding into your mind and going there, because your mind is not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to help you at all. Just take the action, take the next right step, and really focus on what you can do to move forward. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is you need help. And even if you're just starting your business, you need help. And that's because as an entrepreneur, we really are wearing hundreds of hats at once. We're the marketer, we're the copywriter, we're the salesperson, we're the product creator, we're the person on social media, we're content creators. We're literally doing everything. And it's great and it's so much fun, and I love the diversity of business and the different tasks we get to do. But the thing is, you can't do anything well if you're trying to do every little thing yourself. And your business won't proceed, it won't move forward if you're always focused on every little thing yourself. You really need to focus on the tasks that will move your business forward and actually create products and really deliver the value to your clients. And if you're really focused on all the little things that somebody else could do, then you're not going to be able to do those things wholeheartedly. So what I suggest is to hire somebody to help you even before you feel like you really need it. And I think it is important though to say that you should definitely know the ins and outs of your business and have your hands in everything and know how to do everything before you hire someone, because you have to teach someone how to do those things, or you just need to know because you need to know if they're messing something up, things like that. I'll talk about that in another video when I talk about hiring and delegating. So you need to be able to do the tasks yourself first, but once you get that rhythm down and you're able to do it, immediately hire it out, because it's going to save you so much time and you're able to focus on different areas that really, really matter and that are really your zone of genius. And it will also feel so much better to get those more stressful tasks out of the way that you're not good at. You get more stressed when you're not good at something. So just hire someone who is good at that and who actually enjoys that. Like beautiful Celeste, thank you so much, who edits my videos. She is a much better video editor and she's faster than me. So I just hire that task and I give it to her. And she actually enjoys that much more than I do. The fifth thing that I want to talk about is sticking to your schedule. So I mentioned this earlier, and this has been so pivotal recently for me because this content's coming out much later, but at this time that I'm recording this, I was scheduling things, writing things down that I wanted to do, but I really wasn't honoring that commitment to myself 110%. If something came up or if I woke up late, I would treat it like, oh, okay, I'll just change that. I'll just move that to another time. It's fine, because that's just a commitment I made to myself. I'm just scheduling for myself. It's not for someone else. So it's fine. Well, that's a huge problem. You really need to treat everything that you schedule on your calendar like it's a commitment to anyone else, because you will honor that. You will show up on time. You will be there a few minutes earlier. You will be prepared. If this were you meeting with a customer, you would be there. And of course, things do come up and you can, of course, change your schedule as you need to. But really, most of the stuff that comes up can be avoided, or you can really work around in order to get what you want done. So what I recommend is to write everything down that you need to do and then actually time block it, calendar block it, and put it on your Google Cal and write down, I will have this task done between this, at this time, between these hours. And this is important because you're not just saying, work on my blog. You're saying, I will write this blog post from 9 to 11 and I will be done by 11. And really giving yourself that hard cutoff date, that hard cutoff time. And sticking to your schedule this way and following through will build such a strong relationship with yourself. You will trust yourself and you will know that when you're scheduling something on your calendar that you will be there, you will step up to the plate and you will get it done. So when you put it on there, you will feel a sense of relief because you'll know, okay, that task is now as good as done. So I'm going to have a whole other video about scheduling stuff because I think that this is pivotal to success, because if you can't schedule things and rely on yourself and hold yourself to a calendar and a deadline, then you cannot really succeed, or at least not quickly anyway. Okay, and the very last thing, and what I think is the most important thing, is carving out or creating time for yourself. And the reason I'm saying the word carve out and create is because it will not just appear for you. If you have a business, there are endless amounts of tasks to do. If you know human beings, you know there are endless amounts of things you can do with other people, and they'll pop up in your life and they'll talk to you about things. And you really need to set those boundaries with other people and with your business and say, this is my time. This is my time, and this is what I'm going to do to care for myself. And that's because if you don't actually take the time to fill up your cup, give yourself more energy, and revitalize your body, you won't have anything to give other people. You won't have as much value to provide. So this is the absolute base of any business, is yourself and your own well-being. So start there. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you guys have any tips for dealing with overwhelm, please write it down below. And if there's anything specific that you feel like is super overwhelming, write that down below too. Maybe I can make a video addressing that specific topic. Also, jumping off the last point where I talked about self-care, if you want to find the best form of self-care for you, what you can actually do is look to your moon sign and astrology, which is all about your emotional core. And if you have a self-care routine that supports you emotionally, you will feel better. So I will go ahead and link that up in the cards and down below. So don't forget to check that out. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, please hit that notification bell, because that's how you'll get my videos pushed to you each week. Have a beautiful day. Bye.